So in the last movie, they had cars jumping out of skyscrapers to skyscrapers. What the hell are they gonna do in this movie now?
Oh, shit!
Oh. Welcome back, guys. I just watched the 8th installment of the franchise of Fast and the Furious, Fate of the Furious. Now, in the last movie, it was all about the family. And now in this one, it's all about not being with the family. But kinda. So Dom, who's played by Vin Diesel, decides to join the dark side and start working with his company or individual called Cypher. So Cypher is played by Charlize Theron, who is really good in the movie. I really enjoyed her as the villain. And in a way, when I was watching this movie, it felt like I was watching like a superhero movie. Almost like the Avengers or something, because of the stuff that was going down in New York City. Now, if you guys are lovers of the franchise, then you are gonna love this movie. Obviously, if you guys have seen the previous ones, like the last one, you really have to suspend your belief of basically anything. Any logic that you want to throw into a movie, yeah, you gotta throw that shit out the window, because honestly, nothing makes sense in this movie. But the movie knows that, and they freaking go full throttle with it, no pun intended, and they make sure to deliver a fun action-packed movie. Now, I would say, like, after watching the trailer, I think that most of the action scenes and like the best moments are in the movie itself. But aside from those crazy action scenes and stuff like that, I think the two people that actually made this movie very enjoyable for me was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Jason Statham. Anytime those two were on screen, I had a blast. Now, the plot of the movie itself can be like all over the place, but they do add like a little twist to the story itself, and it actually helps develop the plot a little bit better. In this movie, it's not Dom who takes over the group, it's actually Hobbs, and actually watching The Rock take over this group was actually fun. Now, this movie does also bring back some characters from previous installations of the movie, and it's a whole lot of fun when they come on screen, so I'm not gonna spoil who they are. And obviously, some of the stuff that they do in this movie is just not believable at all. Like, the whole time I was like, okay, like, but at the same time, I can't deny that it was pretty cool. My biggest complaint from the movie itself, besides how cheesy the dialogue is and like how absurd anything in the movie is at all, is Tyrese. I always have a problem with Tyrese because he basically does nothing in the movie but deliver one-liners or jokes. But at the same time, everybody does the same thing, like The Rock or Dom. They deliver like these cheesy ass lines. And also Rhodes, who is played by the wildling from Game of Thrones, was actually pretty good in this movie. Like, it kind of reminded me of his character in Game of Thrones, and he was very intimidating. And like I expected, the ending to the movie was very convenient in a way, and like it wasn't really surprising because of the way things ended with like a certain character. And I don't try to give anything away, but like the way that things end in the movie is kind of like obvious, and we definitely are gonna get like a 9th installment of this franchise. I wonder what the title of that movie is gonna be. But in the end, guys, the movie is cheesy. The dialogue itself is just freaking crazy and over the top. The action is like absurd. I did have fun, and I think the main scenes that I had the most fun with was in the prison and in the airplane. And both those scenes are both with The Rock and Jason Statham. Those two definitely stole the show for me. But guys, the movie is super long, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the stuff they do in the movie itself is pretty cool, but at the same time, you gotta suspend your belief like crazy. And even though it looks really cool, at points it was just a little bit too much, and it just felt like it dragged on for too long. Now, it sounds like I'm complaining, but it just feels like those scenes could have been like cut down a little bit shorter, and the runtime wouldn't have been like 2 hours long. In the end, guys, I did enjoy the movie. I'm gonna give this one a 3.5 out of 5. I believe I like this movie a little bit better than the last one, which is not saying a whole lot. But if you love the franchise, then you definitely will love this movie, because they do throw in a little bit more into that plot and that whole family dynamic that Dom talks about so much. So if you guys have watched this movie, what is your favorite scene from the movie itself? Who's your favorite character? And also, what did you guys think of Cypher? Because I believe as a villain, she left a good impression in the movie. And also, what is your favorite Fast and Furious movie? I might be in the minority here by saying that I actually enjoyed Tokyo Drift the most, because that's the one movie that has the most racing, the actual drifting, and it doesn't have any of the main characters. So if you guys agree with me, let me know down below. But guys, if you guys are new to my channel and you guys like this type of content, then please make sure to leave a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. But as always, stay tuned.